here driving my 2006 Mustang GT. When these first came out, you had an option between getting a V6 or a V8. For now, we're going to pretend the V6 never existed. So, the V8, you got a 300 horsepower, all aluminum head and block, 281 cubic inch, 3-valve, 4.6 liter powerhouse. And for the time, it was a lot of power for the price you paid. Now, the one I'm driving right now is my personal Mustang, and it's been modified just a little bit. It's put down about 350, 360 horsepower, and it's got 380 feet-pound of torque. Brand new cold air intake from Air Raid. It's running Bama Performance's race tune. They recommend with that tune that you run either 91 octane or above. Right now I'm running 93 octane. This is in Texas, so we've got 93 for our premium. Besides that, it's got some suspension work done to it. It's been lowered about 1.5 inches in the front and the rear with SR performance lowering springs and SR's panhandle bar, which is adjustable, by the way, so you can fine-tune that to fit whatever your needs may be. A little bit of exhaust work, more planned, but right now it's running Flowmaster Outlaw, which is, for just an axleback, extremely loud. Springs do stiffen up the suspension quite a bit. You'll notice it's pretty jumpy right now. I'm on slightly bumpy grounds. These roads aren't great, but it helps a lot maintaining the grip. The Mustang's known for not handling corners very well. A lot of that's a stereotype, but a good amount of it's pretty true. Main reason for that is the Mustang has a solid live axle in the rear. What that means is there is no independent suspension. So when you go over a bump or you're in a corner, what the right wheel does, the left wheel also does. Which can be a lot of fun, and it's very easy to get the tail out. If you're going for lap times, trying to maintain grip, it's doable, but it's extremely difficult. That's probably one of the negatives about this car if you were to seriously should consider it for autocross or some kind of competitive event. Now, this is my daily driver, and I'm sure everyone's noticed by now, it's an automatic. I know. Trust me, I know. Out of the factory, the Mustangs have a terrible automatic gearbox. I can't stress this how bad it is. I don't know about the newer ones, but the S197s, which is what this model is a part of, are terrible. The throttle response basically just doesn't even matter. It's not even there. And the gearbox, when you plant the pedal, doesn't know what gear to put it in. It'll downshift, it'll wait 5 seconds, and it downshifts again, and now you're flooring it. But in between that time, whoever you wanted to race or whoever you wanted to move out of the way of, they're already gone because your car didn't do anything. Now, it's pretty easy to fix a lot of that stuff. The tune which I'm running helps a lot with that. It really helps tune up the throttle response. And there's more you can do. If you get bigger gears like 410s, those help a lot with the throttle response. Besides that, just doing simple things with the throttle, it's doable. I don't want to say it's great, but it's doable. The brake pedal, on the other hand, is probably the only other negative part about this car performance-wise. The brake pedal doesn't do anything. You see me? Can you hear my foot? Nothing's happening. That's because you gotta go about more than halfway of the brake pedal travel before anything happens. The calipers are 2 pistons in the front and 1 piston's in the rear. Right now I'm running power stop rotors and pads, which help a lot, but really the main drawback is just the calipers and the pistons. They're weak, which which usually means if you're autocrossing, you can start to boil your brakes a lot quicker than you'd expect. Handling wise, to help put the power that this car is making to the ground, I'm running 19-inch rims on 285s in the back and 255s in the front. For rubber, it's brand new Michelin Pilot Sports in the front and some Nitto Invos in the rear. Now, the Nitto Invos are interesting because they're not fully slicks and they're not fully treaded. Basically what that means is you can heat them up. They won't get sticky like a slick would, but they do get a little bit more grip once they're heated up. The main drawback to that is in the rain, which is the daily driver, so it's going to happen. In the rain, you've got to be extremely careful, even more careful than you already were being, because you got a rear-wheel drive muscle car, which, believe me, isn't as easy to drive in the rain as you would think. You just got to have a really light foot, which is hard to do in a car that sounds this good and has this much power. But when you get the tires all cleaned up, the Michelin's really help grip and help you corner, and the Envos in the rear help you hook up and get that power to the ground. Some of the future mods that I have planned for this are some new gears, some more exhaust work. Right now it's stock header, stock cat, stock mid pipe. All that's got to change. Right now it's a big holding back point for the power and the sound. It still sounds really good. I mean, just listen to this. Beautiful. You'll probably be seeing a lot more of this car. There's a lot more things to do on it, other reviews. This one's more of a short intro review for what the Mustang is, but I love this car. Don't get me wrong. Live axles, crazy handling wise, but it's a lot of fun. The brakes suck, but you know, who needs brakes? Just drive fast. Car's loud, car's mean, it's low, and that's what Mustang should be. Loud and low. Well, I hope you liked watching this. If you want to see more, hit like and subscribe. And we'll have more content coming up with different cars, different reviews, as well as more reviews of this car. So if you're interested in the Mustang, definitely subscribe, as I will be posting more of those. Have any suggestions or cars you want to see? Leave a comment. Thanks for watching.